I said, one reason why most countries are mixed economies is that, hey, government have perfect market information. The free market economy may lead to market failure. The free market economy always allocates resources efficiently. Mixed economies never experience market failure. Well, the answer is B. Why? Because they say the free market economy may lead to market failure. So most of the time, we have the mixed economy to cover up for the market failure that occurs in the market economy or the free market, or the market failure that occurs in the planned system. So with the mixed economy, we are able to at least reach a point at which the market failure can be corrected. That's why we have the mixed economy. So most countries will use the mixed economy if the free because they know that the free market economy will lead to a market failure. So the answer is B. So first you have to that's the answer, which is B. Then you have to explain what market failure is. Market failure is a situation whereby the market mechanism, their decision they take leads to misallocation of resources. That is market failure. And when you talk about the free market means what? Resources allocation is being decided by individuals and firms. So if with information failure, here they said, so that's all about market of mixed economies anyway. So go to question 2. It said, which one of the following is most likely to result in a decrease in producer surplus in the market of for breakfast cereals? So when you talk about producer surplus, you're talking about the profit made by firms. So what happens here? They said an advertising campaign that highlights the health benefit of breakfast cereals. If the advertising campaign highlights the health benefit of breakfast cereals, then the demand for breakfast cereals should increase, which cannot be an option. B, the government subsidy to support the breakfast cereal market. So if there's government subsidy, that means prices will fall. Then the demand should rise. So the answer is not B. C, a decrease in indirect tax on breakfast cereals. That would also increase demand for breakfast cereals. Then we check D. Consumers switching from breakfast cereals to fruit and yogurt. So if consumers switch from breakfast cereals to fruit and yogurt, it means that the demand for cereals will fall. So the answer is D. So the explanation for that. So if based on this, the explanation will be like the demand curve. The demand for cereals will shift leftward from D to D1. And at the same time, the price for cereals will fall from P to P1. That's a leftward shift. Yeah. So we have that's for question 2. Question 3 said, according to the Association of the British Travel Agents, 36% of UK holidaymakers take skiing holidays without travel insurance, despite the average travel insurance claim in Europe being 1,610. A possible explanation for this underconsumption of travel insurance is that, first, when you talk about underconsumption can be as a result of imperfect information, it can be as a result of asymmetric information. And when there's underconsumption of a product, it might lead to misallocation. So let's check the options first. A, holidaymakers have imperfect information about the risk of skiing. B, the indirect taxes imposed on travel insurance have decreased. C, there is no opportunity cost to paying for travel insurance. D, symmetric information is available about the average insurance claim. If there's symmetric information, then insurance is important. So there shouldn't be under consumption of travel insurance. That means D is not an option. There's always opportunity cost for every decision that individuals take. So C is not an option. The indirect taxes imposed on travel insurance have decreased. If it decreases, then people should take up insurance policies. B is not an option. Then we go to A. That is the answer. So they said holidaymakers have imperfect information about the risk of skiing. So because they have asymmetric information about the risk that is involved when skiing. That is why they are under consuming travel insurance. So the answer is A. Then what we talked about as imperfect information. Imperfect information is the same as asymmetric information, where one party doesn't have detailed information or doesn't have detailed information about the product or the service. So market failure will occur. And when we talk about market failure, it is misallocation of resources. Then if there is misallocation, under consumption is an example of a market failure. So that's question 3. Go to question 4. Said the Regional Public Goods Initiative supports countries in Latin America and Caribbean and has provided $73 million US finance for the provision of public goods across the region. Which one of the following statements about public goods is true? Public goods are goods that are non-excludable and non-rivalrous. That means the consumption of the product by an individual does not stop others from consuming them. So let's check the options we have. 4, we have the private sector is able to exclude people from consuming public goods. No, the private sector can't. B, they may be underprovided by the private sector. The private sector, yeah, for public goods, the private sector might not be able to provide the public goods. They might not be able to provide it because of profit maximization motive of the private sector. So B is the answer, but let's check C. There is rivalry in the consumption of public goods. No, it is non-rivalrous. So there's no rivalry in the consumption of public goods. D, they are only available to some consumers. No, that is non-excludable. That is excludable. So, and public goods are non-excludable. So C and D is not an option. C means rivalrous. D means no, D means C means rivalrous. D means excludable. But for public goods, they are non-rivalrous and non-excludable. So C and D are not an answer. Is not an answer. Then B is the answer. They may be underprovided by the private sector. The private sector provides goods basically for profit motive, which is not a public good. So what is a public good? We said the public goods are goods that are non-rival and non-excludable. So as a result of that, example of public goods is the street lights and defense. So the problem about the public good is the free rider problem. Because when you talk about the free rider, it means some consumers won't be stopped from consuming those products, even if they don't have money to pay. So market failure can also occur with in the provision of public goods because they might still be underprovided by the public by the government. So that's about question 5. Let's ask about question 4. So go to question 5. Question 5 says, okay, the National Food Buffer Stock Company in Ghana operates a buffer stock scheme in the market for soya beans. The diagram shows the market for soya beans, where the government will intervene to maintain the price between P1 and P2. The supply curve shows supply in the years of 2013 to 2014. So first, what is a buffer stock? A buffer stock is a situation whereby the government buys large quantities of products when they are surplus and try to sell them when there's shortage in the market. So why do government do this? Government might do that as a result of price stability because when products are scarce in the market, the prices increases. And with government having a buffer stock, it means that when the products are scarce or they are short in the market, the government can make them available. So let's check the answers now for 5. In 2013, the effect resulted in price PE and QE. So the 2014 harvest led to the government buying soybeans and adding it to its stockpile. No, government would not even keep because here at PEQE, the price is increasing, so government wouldn't want to keep them anymore. So B, the price increasing to P1 due to a good harvest. No. The government selling soybeans from its stockpile. Yeah, the government is selling because we said a buffer stock is when government is trying to buy products when they are surplus and trying to sell them when they are short, when there's shortage in the market. So C is an option. D, let's check that excess supply of soybeans. An excess supply in soybeans, we don't even need government to intervene. So the answer is C. Then we go to question. Go to question 6. As I said, the table shows estimate of income elasticity of demand and price elasticity of demand for cigarettes in Argentina. The elasticity elasticity of demand is 0.43. Price elasticity of demand is negative 0.31. From the data, it can be deduced that in Argentina, an increase in consumer income will lead to a more than proportionate increase in demand for cigarettes. No. B, a decrease in consumer income will lead to a less than proportionate rise in demand for cigarettes. A decrease in consumer income. Here, we don't talk about the consumer income. Here, let's see. C, an increase in the price of cigarettes will lead to a more than proportionate rise in the demand for cigarettes. An increase in demand would lead to a fall in demand for an increase in the price of cigarettes would lead to a fall in demand for cigarettes. So C is not an option. And D, a decrease in the price of cigarettes will lead to a less than proportionate rise in demand for cigarettes. Yes, based on the law of demand, it says the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Because there's an inverse relationship between price and quantity. So a fall or a reduction in the price of cigarettes will lead to an increase in the demand for cigarettes. So the answer is D. So first, what is demand? Demand is the quantity of goods and services firms are willing to buy at a given price at time. Then let's check, let's talk about the price elasticity of demand, which is the degree of responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in price. And the formula for the price elasticity of demand is percentage change in the quantity demanded over percentage change in price. So that's question 6. Then go to question 7. They said in the USA, in September 2013, 11.3 million people were unemployed, but at the same time, 3.9 million jobs vacancies were available. So if 11.3 million people were unemployed and there are jobs, 3.9 million are available, that means there's mismatch between the demand for labor and the supply of labor. So what does a mismatch mean? So a mismatch is a situation whereby the jobs are available the jobs available doesn't have workers that are the jobs available required skills that the workers available don't have. So that is what mismatch means. So let's check the options we have here. They said this may be explained by which one of the following. A, there's a mismatch between the skill of unemployed, the skills the unemployed have, and those required by employers. I think that was the answer in A. But let's check the other options. B, the US government offers subsidies to help people move from one region to another. That wouldn't increase unemployment. See, the US government providing training programs to reduce immobility. If government increases training program, it makes workers to become mobile. It becomes more skilled. Then there will be mobility of labor. Because immobility of labor means the inability of workers to be able to switch from one job to another. They will go to D. The skills of the unemployed may be transferred easily to the jobs that are available. If the skills of the unemployed can be easily transferred to the jobs available, then 3.9 million, that means 11.3 million should be reduced. Not, the 11.3 million people available for that job should have taken the job. So that means there's immobility of labor. So D is not also an option. So the answer is A, which I already said that there's a mismatch, which means the skills the employers are required from the skills the employers are requiring for the employees, they don't have it. So that's why they are unemployed.